Hello guys, my name is Balkrishna Srivastava and welcome to Code with PK. So in this video we write a C++ program to print the digits in an integer, and we use two methods. We use strings and then we use a while loop method. So before we begin, it is a request to please subscribe to my channel, because out of 100 viewers only 3 or 4 are subscribed, and a subscription is very important. So please do subscribe to my channel. Okay, so let's begin. So we have to write a program to print the digits in an integer. Okay, so example 1, we have n equal to 100. For this integer, the output is going to be 100, the 3 digits of 100. Okay, in the second sample output we have n equal to 24. The output is 2 and 4, which are the digits of 24. Okay, so we have to print digits left to right and each digit on a separate line. Okay, so first I'm going to use a string method, and then I'm going to show you the while loop method. Okay, so in our method 1, okay, we use strings. Okay, so this is very straightforward. All you have to do is convert the integer to corresponding string, then you have to iterate the string from left to right and print each character of the string. Okay, so convert n to string and print each character of the string. Okay, suppose we have int n equal to 100. Okay, string n str is going to be, we cannot do blank plus n in C++. We cannot concatenate an integer value to a blank string. We have to do something like toString. Okay, we use an inbuilt method and we pass the integer that we want to convert to string. Okay, so what this does is basically gets you the string form of the integer, that is, if n is 100, 100 is in the string right now in nstr. Okay, then we iterate the string. So for int I equal to 0, I is less than nstr.length. Okay, I plus plus. In each iteration we get the ith character and we print it, which is basically the digit of n. Okay, so we say char ch is nstr of I. Get the ith character, we print the ith character, which is a digit of this integer n. Okay, and before this we can print a message like cout digits of n, okay, r. Okay, so let me just run this. Okay, digits of 100 are 100. Okay, let me change this to 24, the second sample case, compile, run. Okay, digits of 24 are 2, 4. If I make it 0, okay, digits of 0 are 0. Okay, this is my first method, and you should primarily remember this method because this is very straightforward. You just convert integer to string and you don't use any external libraries. Okay, so wherever you are in C++, you should be able to do this code. Okay, next is when we use method 2 using while loops. Okay, so for this I'm going to write a separate method. So I'm going to say void print digits, okay, takes an integer n. Okay, right, let's make this method 2, okay, while loops. All right, okay, so in this while loop method, what we do is in each iteration of the while loop we extract the units digit from the integer. Okay, then we remove the units digit from the integer and we keep printing the units digit that we have removed. Okay, let me just code and show this to you, and then I'm going to write and show this how exactly this works. Okay, so I'm going to say while n not equal to 0. Okay, I'll say int remainder is n%10. This is modulo operator, percent operator. This returns the remainder. So n%10 will give you the remainder when n is divided by 10, and this is the standard way to extract the units digit. Okay, the digit at the rightmost of an integer. Okay, I have extracted the remainder. I printed the remainder. Okay, which is basically the rightmost digit. So I say cout remainder. Okay, and okay, and we can have a similar message on the top. This is of nr. Okay, then I have extracted the remainder, which is the unit digit, to print, but I have not actually removed the unit digit from the integer. To do that, what we do is n equal to n by 10. Now n by 10 is integer division. Integer division returns the quotient. Okay, in this case you lose the unit digit, okay, from n, which is stored back into n. All right, and this is our method to print digits. Okay, this method will print the digits in reverse order because the first digit that is extracted is the rightmost digit, which is the units digit. Okay, then the second digit from the right, then the third digit from the right. Okay, so the order of digits extracted is from right to left, whereas in this method we are extracting digits left to right. Okay, in order to extract digits right to left, in this case we iterate the string in reverse. We start from the last index and go to the first index. Okay, but in this case, if we had to do left to right extraction of digits, this would get very complicated, and there is no point doing that because you can already achieve that case with this code. Okay, so let me just run method 2 as well, method 2. Okay, so all I do is call this function, okay, pass n, okay, and maybe create a border between the two outputs. Okay, let me change this back to 100. Okay, so compile, run. Okay, digits of 100 are and digits of 100 are 0, 0, 1. As I told you, this will get you digits in the reverse order from right to left. Okay, let me change this n to 24. Okay, clear, compile, run. Okay, digits of 24 are 24, digits of 24 are 42. Okay, when I make this 0, the first output using this string method is going to be correct, but the second output is not going to be correct. Let me just show you. Okay, first output is correct, second output does not produce any output, only this statement is printed, and this is because when n is 0, okay, this condition is false. Okay, n not equal to 0 is going to be false for n equal to 0. So when n is 0, this loop will never run, this loop never runs, so nothing is printed from this loop, so only this message is printed. Okay, so for 0 we want the first digit 0 to be output, okay, just as the first case is doing. So what you can do is you can take a separate case for 0. If n is 0, you simply see out n and endl and return. Okay, you'll have to handle this case separately. Alright, so whenever you use while loop methods, you make sure we handle the case for 0 separately, because when n is equal to 0, okay, this condition is false and while loop never runs. Okay, so when I clear, compile, run. Okay, now we get correct output in both the cases. Okay, changing this to 3, 4, some random number again, and you just have to remember this method will give you digits in reverse order. So if order does not matter for you, you can use this method as well if you just want to extract digits in any order. Okay, but if order matters, you can use this, and this is supposedly an easier method to remember compared to this, but something like this is very often asked and used in codes that you will find around. Okay, so I'll clear, compile, run. Okay, 3489003 3009843. Okay, one more thing I want to tell you here is when this while loop completes, okay, the value of n goes to 0, because that is when this condition goes false and you come out of the while loop. Okay, so if I print cout n after, okay, n and endl, okay, this will give me 0, okay, because n has gone to 0 now. Okay, all right, so what if you are using this while loop and you also want to retain the original value of n so that you can use it after this while loop? So I recommend you save n in a temp variable and set n back to temp after this while loop, because I have often seen cases where people code this while loop but they forget the fact that n will go to 0. We will lose the original value of n after this while loop completes. So in order to store the original value of, you store it in a temp variable and then you set n back to this temp variable after this loop completes. Okay, now when I compile and run, I get the original value of n intact. Okay, this is something that you should remember when you are using this while loop method. Okay, so store the value of n because n goes to 0 after the while loop completes. Okay, and you can also achieve the order left to right of the digits in the integer if you iterate this for loop in reverse. Okay, from the last index to the first index. Okay, all right, and the code to print digits in order from left to right using while loop method is a little tedious and there is no point telling you. Okay, but if you want, let me know in the comments, I can tell you that as well. Okay, it's just doing this while loop once again. So what we do in that case is first we count how many digits are there. Okay, then we create an array to store the digits. Okay, because for creating an array in C++ we need to know the size of the array, so we basically count the number of digits first. Then we use this while loop method again and we populate the array from left to right. Okay, so digits are populated in the array from left to right. Then the final step is you're printing the array from right to left so that you get the digits in the original order. So that all is not really needed when you can do something like this. Alright, one last thing is you're printing this output here as a character. Okay, what if you want the digit to be an integer? Okay, right now the digit is a single character. Okay, if I make it a smaller, say 343. Okay, so ch is going to take values 3, okay, 4 and 3 in each iteration. Okay, if you want this character, this digit as an integer, you can do int digit is ch minus 0. This is a standard way to convert a character that contains a digit into its corresponding integer value. Okay, now if I print instead of ch, I print digit, I get the same output. Okay, so I clear, compile. Okay, so let me just dry run this code and show you how this is actually working. Okay, so this is the code we are given, and we have values say n equal to say 3, 4, 7. Okay, so in this case the digits come out to be 7, 4 and 3. Okay, in reverse order as I told you in the code, right? Now how does this actually work? So we have the value of n, we have the condition n not equal to 0. Okay, we have printing c out r. Okay, we are calculating r, we are printing out r. So if this is my console, okay, I'm going to print my output here, then I have n by 10. Okay, so my n starts with 347, n is 347. Okay, n not equal to 0, n not equal to 0. Okay, this condition is true for 347, 47 not equal to 0, this condition is true, come inside the while loop. R is n percent 10, n percent 10 is going to give me 7. Okay, because 347 percent 10 will give me the remainder when 347 is divided by 10, which is 7. Okay, so you print out r, so you get output as 7. Then you do n equal to n by 10. So n by 10 basically is 347 by 10. Now this is integer division. In this case you only get the quotient. So 347 divided by 10, the quotient is going to be 34, you lose out the remainder, so this is 34, which goes back into n. So n now becomes 34. Okay, so you go back to check the while loop condition. N not equal to 0 is true because n is 34, this condition is true, you come inside the while loop. R is n percent 10, 34 percent 10, okay, is going to give you the remainder 4. Okay, the units digit, so R is 4. You print out R, so output is 4. Okay, then you do n by 10, 34 integer division by 10 will give you the quotient, which is going to be 3. Okay, so n by 10 is 3, which goes back into n, so n becomes 3. Okay, then you go back to check for while loop condition, n not equal to 0, n is 3, not equal to 0 is true. Okay, R is n percent 10, 3 percent 10 will give you 3, because the remainder when 3 is divided by 10 is 3. So R is 3, you print R, so output is 3. Alright, then you do n by 10, n by 10, 3 by 10 integer division is going to give me 0, because the quotient when 3 divided by 10 is 0. So I get n by 10 as 0, which goes back into n, so this becomes 0 now. You go back to check for while loop condition, 0 not equal to 0 is now false. Okay, and so when you come out of the while loop, you get this output, which is the digits in reverse order. Okay, for digits in the original order, what I told you, you have to create an array of the same size. So if you create an array of size 3, okay, 0, 1, 2, okay, you populate the digits, so you populate 7, 4, 3, okay, and then you print them in reverse order, so you get 3, 4, 7 as the output. Okay, so in order to count how many digits, you can use the same loop again. Okay, before this loop you can write the same while loop, which basically counts the number of digits. I've already posted a video on how to count the number of digits in an integer. It is a very similar loop, like 95% same. Okay, count the digits, then create an array, populate, and then print in reverse. Okay, but this entire idea is very tedious. In place of that, you can directly use this string method. Okay, iterate from left to right. Okay, so this was the solution to this problem, and I hope this was helpful. So if there is any doubt, or if there is any part you do not understand about this video, please let me know in the comments. I always try to answer all your queries in the comments. Okay, you can also let me know in the comments if there is any question you want to solve, or there is any concept you want me to discuss. Okay, so please let me know your thoughts on this video. Please like my video, please subscribe to my channel, and thank you.